Hello boys and girls, we are doing another experiment today. I want to remind you about the combustion triangle. Sometimes we call it the fire triangle. It has got three sides, and you'll remember the one side is oxygen, the next side is the starter, and the one at the bottom is the fuel. And all three of those have to be in place if you're going to have a fire. If we remove one of them, we no longer have a triangle and we have no fire. So whichever one we take away, we know we can get rid of the fire or stop the fire. So it's very useful for fire control. Today, we are going to look at taking out the oxygen. If we remove the oxygen from a fire, does it really stop the fire from burning? So we're going to check that and see if it's really true. But before we do that, I want to show you a little tool. If you go and have a look in your textbook on page 118 to 123, you will see this experiment that we're going to do. But they also talk about this thing called a snuffer. So I have a little snuffer here. It's a really old-fashioned little tool, and you can see at the bottom it's got a hole in there. And it's that hole that is important, because we're going to put that hole over the flame, and then it prevents the oxygen from getting to the flame, and it puts it out very easily. Maybe you watched Mary Poppins and you saw that guy that went dancing down the street. His job was to turn off the street lights, but this is the thing that he used. Okay, so I have a lit candle here, and we're going to take our snuffer and we're going to snuff out the candle. So we bring it down from the top because of the oxygen, and we're going to limit the oxygen. Look how quickly it works. Did you see that? Watch again. Gone. That was quick. So a snuffer snuffs out the candle, that's the word we use, by depriving it of oxygen. Okay, I think it's time to start with our experiment. So we're going to first look at some of the equipment and the materials that we've got. Let's do the materials first. So we've got two candles. They're both the same. They're both the same height. They both came from the same packet, so they were made by the same factory. And the other material that we've got is a jug of water, and we'll explain that to you just now. And then of course our matches. From an equipment point of view, we have some saucers. We have two jars, one very large one not so large. I have my cell phone, which is going to be the timer. So that is the equipment and the materials that we are going to use. Now let me just run through this experiment. We're going to have one which we're going to call the control. So this one is going to have as much oxygen as it can get. We're not going to limit the oxygen in this one. So it can take the air, the oxygen out of the air here, and it can burn or it can go out, we'll see, for as much and as long as it can while there's oxygen there. There's fuel, which is the wax, and we're going to give it the starter energy. So you can see all three sides of the triangle are there. For this one, which is going to be our experiment, we're going to light the candle, we're going to turn the jar upside down on top of it, and then I'm going to pour some water here. Now the reason for me putting water there is I don't want any oxygen to sneak into it. Maybe the rim of the glass isn't so good. So we don't want any oxygen to sneak into this thing, so we're going to seal it with a puddle of water. Alright, so we're going to do two different jars. You're going to make a guess now as to which one, a prediction, which one you think is going to go out first. So there are actually three things in this one. We've got the control. Will it go out first? Will the one with the large jar go out first? Or will the one with the small jar go out first? Think about that. So we're going to just move things a little now so that you can see better, because I want you to be able to see through the jars from the side. I'm going to light our experiment candle, and then I'm going to light the control candle, which you can't see, but I'll show it to you quickly, and then we're going to put it down on the side here. Alright, so it's starting to burn. We're going to pour some water around it, just the same as the other one. Alright, so I've filled up my saucer. Can you see that?
Yes.
The saucer has got water in it, and we're going to just leave it there to burn happily, taking out of the air as much oxygen as it can take. In this experiment we're going to use the small jar first. So let me just put some water around the edge of this. So it's the same. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to start with our timing. As soon as we pour the water in. Right, all ready. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Here we are. Let's see what's happening. Still burning nicely. 8 seconds gone. 12 seconds gone. Candle is nice and bright. Oh, 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 it's dimming. Gone. There's a little puff of smoke. Can you see that? I think that was quite a success. Our candle has gone out. The water has sealed it beautifully. And we had 20 seconds, 19 seconds, and we have the candle going out. So what has happened is that candle has used up all the oxygen that was in there. There's still plenty of fuel. It had the starter to get it going. So you can see the only one side of the triangle that's missing is the oxygen. Right, now we're going to get ready to do the large jar. What is your guess? More or less time? Okay, so we're ready now with the large jar. I'm going to light the candle. So there's my starter energy or my igniter, the input energy, and voila, we have a burning candle. And now we are ready to put our large big fat daddy jar over this, and I'm ready to start the timer. So let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we've got bubbling taking place here. Oh, it's going great. 6, 7 seconds gone. Candle's burning beautifully. Enjoying all that nice oxygen. A whole jar full of oxygen. Don't think that jar was empty. Oh, 20 seconds gone. Still glowing. Still doing great there. "37 seconds. We've got a very good candle going. A lovely flame. 55 seconds. Now something interesting is happening. The water is starting to disappear from there. Ooh, it's going and our candle has gone out. Why is the water disappearing? Why did I have to pour more water in there? Some of the water has actually gone into the jar. I don't know if you can see it there, but if I wriggle this a bit, you can see the water's gone right inside there. I wonder if you can think why. Can you see it wriggling at the top here? Why has the water gone in there? So it shows us there was a little bit of a leak there, but the air couldn't go in, only water. I hope you're thinking. What has gone out of the jar? What has been removed from the jar? I think you've got it. It's the oxygen. Yes, the oxygen was removed out of there, but it can't have no place at all. So it's sucking in something to take the place of that oxygen. And that's what it's actually done. It's sucked in the water to take the place of the oxygen that was in there. That's quite fascinating, isn't it? If I lift this up, I'm going to have a big mess here with water everywhere. So we're going to stop it right there. Okay, so this time we're going to do a fun one. You're going to make a guess. I've got this medium-sized jar here, and you're going to guess between the small one and the big one how long you think that candle is going to burn. So let's start again. We had, let's get this light. For this, the small jar, it was 20 or 19 seconds. For the large one it was 1 minute and 5 seconds, so 65 seconds in total. So what is your guess for the medium-sized jar? Are we ready? Okay, not the big one, the medium one. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. See if I'll be ready with the water in case it starts sucking water in. Candle still burning nicely. I hope you can see it. 15 seconds, 17 seconds, 18, 19. Oh, it's getting dimmer. And it's sucking in water. Gone. 25 seconds it is. Ooh, I think I must put a little bit more water here. How close was that to your guess? Just 6 seconds more than the small jar. Right, so boys and girls, what have we learned today? Our big candle, our control candle, is still burning. It's got plenty of fuel. Our candle in here has got plenty of fuel. So it can't be the fuel. The starter was the same and it's kept them burning. So the only thing that is different is the oxygen. We limited the oxygen by putting these jars over it. And when we limit the oxygen, it gets used up with time. Right, so you've got an experiment you're going to write up, and there is a sheet that you will fill in all the details. I hope today you've been really listening because it's got to do with a scientific investigation. So we just to wrap up finally, we've got our candle here. It's time now for us to snuff it. You can see our control has not stopped burning for the whole time of the experiment. So at least we can say definitely it's been burning for over 5 minutes. So you're going to have to record that. Just remember it's plus 5 minutes. So goodbye candle. Thank you little ducky. Do your job. Gone. You see that puff of smoke? Always tells you it's gone out. Thank you boys and girls.